Alright, let's see, how do we make one item do one thing and one item do another thing without having to make two completely different things. First thing you want to do is make sure that you have your Netflix open and you're watching The Office. And that's very important, make sure you have that. Test this out, hit play. I go by this door, E opens. I go by this door, E doesn't open. Okay. So what I have here is a variable right there. And on each door, I simply click whether I want it to be openable or not. Okay, so let's see how we create that. So I have a blueprint. So I made a blueprint. I have a door frame as a static mesh, a box as a collision object, and then a door as a static mesh as well. Okay, and in the event graph, I have my, on component begin overlap. So when you overlap that collision box, ignore this for a second, it's going to go to a timeline and it's going to play an animation. And the animation is just the door rotating 90 degrees. And then from here, this is just the animation. So this is basically just like a timeline, right? And I can apply this timeline to anything. So I can apply the timeline to translate, rotation, scale, whatever. It doesn't know that it's connected to the door yet. So when it updates, it goes to the door. So I drug the door into here, and I drug this out, and I set relative rotation right there. And then this connects to that, okay? The whites are all the flows. Flow here, flow here, flow here. That's how this is flowing from one spot to the next. And then the other ones, like this new track, that's the one that goes from 0 to 90. That flows into the yaw, which is the rotation direction I want to spin around. And it returns that value and puts in the rotation. Okay, so what makes this actually openable is just these two bits here. So over here on variables, I made a new variable. I'll call it closable, just so it's, opposite of openable. And I click the I, and what that means is make it viewable by over here. Now you'll see it's not there yet. This hasn't been saved yet, so I have to save it and compile it, and then closable will be there. Okay, and I'll just delete this. I'll put this back to where it was. I can delete closable, so just use openable again. Okay, so just drag this out, and I want to say get. Okay, so after you've placed a blueprint object, you can set what you want this value to be, and then when it runs the script of the overlap, it will run this. So I'm going to say go here, and then branch off. Okay, now it wants to know which condition, so I'm going to use this condition. Okay, so if this is checked, then this is true. If this is not checked, then this is false. So then I would drag the true to this. So basically it's saying on the overlap, see if this is checked. If it is checked, do this. If it's not checked, well, I don't need to do anything. Just don't do anything. Compile and save. Close that. You'll see it says openable here. This one doesn't. As I duplicate these, I can simply just click yes or no. And then that door opens. That door doesn't. That door does. Okay. Cool. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have something else, let me know. In the meantime, I'm just going to be recovering all my files and rebuilding stuff.